This is WPSL Port St. Lucie.
And the views expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of WPSL. However, we have all along encouraged you to like and share them on social media and with all your friends and neighbors because it's time for the science of caring. Careology, brought to you by CareBag, a 501c3 that you can help, and we'll tell you how during the show. Right now, introducing the host, the one and only Roxy Brown.
Hi, Cliff. How are you doing? How's everything going, Cliff?
Nice, finally. We got everything going so smoothly. It's
So nice and smooth. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. For those of you who can see me, welcome. For those of you at the sound of my voice, I want to say welcome to Careology. Cliff and me are in two different places, but thank God for technology that we can do that. You can still see me, you can still hear me. It's a beautiful day. For those that are looking at me and seeing this beautiful red hat that I have on, hi, Jet, I am getting ready for our tea party coming up this Saturday. I am excited, excited, excited. We have a team of ladies that have been going up and beyond getting ready for this day. And it's just going to be beautiful. I just want to tell you a little about it. We're going to be having it right here in Port St. Lucie. It is our high tea at the garden, and it is a friend raiser. We want we want to go out and we want to meet people that don't really know CareBag, or you heard about CareBag, but you're not sure of the information you're getting. It's 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. this Saturday, the 15th, and tickets are $50. We're having it at the Veranda Gardens Clubhouse. I went there and it is a beautiful place. And we're going to have a kids fashion show, and we have so much little things that are going on. So in celebration of that tea party, I have decided that I am going to wear a hat tonight. So for those of you who, oh, thank you, everyone. I love my hat. For those of you who want to get on and see on our social media on Facebook, you can. It's a nice red fascinator. And I'm just going to, at the commercial break, I may switch out, I may not, because I do love these, but I just want to get in the frame of mind to start having it on. Nothing's wrong with having it at home with nowhere to go. Nothing's wrong with that. But I want to just say one more thing. Everyone is going to be invited to our next event, and we are having our ribbon cutting day, April the 25th, 2023 at 11:30 a.m. at our CareBag office at 6985 Hancock Drive in Port St. Lucie. We are going to be unveiling our new mobile hygiene pantry unit, courtesy of, we have Chrissy. I mean, this woman is absolutely fantastic. She has been over 30 years, combined of 70 years of experience in that office, a little over 70 years of experience. And they are doing our beautiful hygiene pantry. And we're going to have the unveiling and the ribbon cutting. Our mayors are going to be their commissioners, different people of business. I want you to come out. I want you to come and celebrate the opening of our office for 3 years, our new hygiene pantry office, and we have surprises. We have light hors d'oeuvres. So come on out. This is a free event for everyone to go ahead and take part in. We look forward to seeing you. And again, that day is April 25th at 11:30. You can go to givecarebag.com and it'll take you right to our site that you can go ahead and get all our information. You can go ahead and just text and RSVP to us by text. The numbers on the flyer, 772-222-7399. We'd love for you to come out. This is a free event for anyone to come out. And I am going to be so excited to see so many new faces, old faces, regular faces. It's going to be great, Cliff. I am really, really looking. I've been wanting to do this. This is in conjunction with 100 Women Who Care, the Hope Sound Community Chest, and our partners with Impact 100 St. Lucie for the grant that we won. So we're really excited about this. And we're going to be having this rolling out for the first week of May, and just keep up to date with what we're doing. I am excited about serving the community. I'm excited about having new team members on our team. I especially want to give a big shout out to Hearts Unfold event. And she has been, her name is Janelle, and everyone's asking me, oh, your pictures are beautiful, your flyers. This young lady is absolutely amazing. If she's going to be on the show in a couple of months, because we want to talk about proper health, we want to talk about you're having an event, how to look for a good event plan and what to expect, not to get taken, by so many people say they'll do things and they don't come up and do the right thing. So she's going to be guiding us because we have the holidays coming back up and we have weddings, we have birthdays, and she is an expert. And we love talking to experts. So tonight, I am really excited about our topic tonight. And it is about everyone's looking for love in all the wrong places. And while I was doing my research, did anyone know there are over 1,500 dating apps? Over 1,500 dating apps. And it is a $1 billion industry. And on top of it being a $1 billion industry, we have over 25.1 million people who are using dating apps just on their smartphone. The largest sector of individuals using the dating apps are millennials at 36%. That's between the ages of 18 and 29. And they're saying that they've used online dating services app for all that they know. College graduates and people college level education are more likely to use dating apps. That's the information that they're giving us. But my question is, why do we think we need to go to dating apps? What happened to the good old day? You pass somebody, you see them, hey, how you doing? What happened to those days? Are we so busy that we don't have time to look at someone's glass and just say hello? I find it a little scary. I've been married for going on 20, or this August, 26 years. I've never used a dating app, but I've been talking to some people, and a lot of them said it's so easy for them to just go ahead on a dating app and just have a conversation by phone with someone, or to go ahead and have a conversation just over the phone and not have to interact with anyone. And I think this is my personal opinion. I think that we have gotten so stuck to our devices that we don't know how to go out and sit down and have a conversation. I'm not going to call out, what they have, but they have ones. Everyone knows, the eHarmony. They've talked about that. But now you have for your seniors. Now you have, they call them the silvers. Now you have your elite for your high end people that say they are have their PhD. They have their masters. You have different ones just for fun. You have some for single parents. You have some that just if you want to flirt. I'm sorry. If you have one because you just want to have fun, then you have some that if you're a Christian. So there's so many out there. So the question is, why do individuals think that they have to go out there and go on a dating app to go ahead and find someone? That's what we really want to get down to. So some of the benefits I was hearing when I talked to a lot of my single friends, and a lot of them were saying that they hear that a lot of people get married, and I ask, how expensive is this? If you're looking, if you go to dinner and you go for a date, you're looking at back then it was maybe $150 for a really nice date dinner, maybe if you go to the movies. So but how much are people paying for this? So let's look at the benefits. A lot of people were saying that the benefits of online dating is that you can weed out individuals. But I want to give the con to that. When you're talking to someone and you can't look them in the eye and you can't really get to know them on that type of level, how do you know what they're telling you online over the phone is the truth? We talk about online and we talk about a facade and we talk about a lot of things that happen, but how do we know that it is really true what you're hearing from individuals out there? A lot of these sites claim that they've had over 600,000 marriages on their dating line experience. And I think that draws people in. There's some people that are just desperate to be married. And while I was talking to a lot of my friends, I said something to them and they looked at me kind of crazy. I said, when you go looking for something, sometimes you find the wrong thing. Anybody on our social media site that wants to go ahead and agree with me or disagree with me, you're free. But how do you know what you're getting from someone if you're getting a facade online? I don't see the benefit of that. And how do you know what dating site that you need to go ahead to? How do you do your research? You're paying money because it's not cheap. You're paying money and you're looking for through these dating sites. How do you know which one you're finding? Because we're on radio, so we're in marketing, we're in advertising. um I can put out something and it can sound good, it can feel good, but is it good? Okay, is it good? Do we know if it's good? And those are some of the things that we want to talk about here. And I just think growing up, how are people going to connect? How are people going to go ahead and learn those motor skills of communication, looking someone into the eye, holding them? Because you go through all of this facade online, and then when you actually meet the person, is that the real person that you knew? Is that the real person that they were showing you, or were you showing your true self? You can always, I find that, I call it keyboard warriors. There's so many people that want to say so many brilliant things or so many stupid things behind the computer, behind the social media app. But where are you going to? Where do you see things coming from, or where do you see things blossoming into when you're talking with someone, but then you meet them and you realize what you were getting wasn't the truth? Now, I know that a lot of people have got some really, really good results. They've been married, they've had children going on 10, 15 years, and it is just amazing. But what about the other ones that get left behind? And that's where we talk about looking for love in all the wrong places. And, online dating platforms and apps, make finding that romantic partner easier than ever. They make it so easy. By you just create an account. It doesn't guarantee you'll find the right match, but you try to put down the best pictures and everything to optimize yourself to find love. And uh, and I think it's unfair. So, you know me, I always have a good story. And I had a friend, and we're not going to even make up a name because I don't want to call the wrong name and somebody thinks I actually have a friend with that name. But I had a friend, and she got divorced, and she decided that she was going to go on dating apps. And we helped her with her profile, and she got her profile, and she went on dates. And some of the stories, when she left, she would call me. When she got there, she would call me during dinner or whatever. She had to text me. And then if she felt uncomfortable, she'll text me a word. And the amount of dates, and I think, and how many things I used to see her go through. One day I asked her, I said, do you think this is worth it? And she said, this is exhausting. She said it is absolutely exhausting, because she said you talk to them over the platform or however you talk to them, and then when you get them and when you see them, they portray to have a certain standard, men or women, and then when you get there, they can't meet up to that. So you really have no clue who you're meeting. And that was just so that was just so devastating for her. So those were something we call fake profiles. People are on there making fake profiles. Online dating isn't something new. It's been around for years, but the recent turn of events made it easier and faster to meet someone. You could meet them in the country, out the country, and now it became to be a scamming thing. And so the thing that we have to ask ourselves, if you are on the dating apps, how do you know the person that you're talking to is really the right person? I was talking to another young lady and she met this person and he had sent her pictures and he was in one of the services. I don't remember which one. But they were talking and they were communicating. And when she brought this to my attention, I said, I'm looking at the picture and a lot of people don't know if you take your hand and you hold on the picture, it will give you the details and you can actually find out where that picture was from. And she ended up finding out the picture was fake and the person was fake. Now, the conversation had taken such a turn. They were talking about, I want to meet you. I'm in love with you. I can see myself marrying you. And I'm looking at this young lady and I'm like, this isn't right. Um, you have to cut. I think this people go out there and they play mind games with people. And a lot of these young individuals, young men, young ladies, especially the young ladies, and a lot of men also, they're going down and they're looking for that love. And you think it's perfect. You think it is that perfect. There are thousands of authentic dating apps out there, but there are many fake dating profiles. And how do you weed through the dating profiles? And we found out that a lot of people started doing more people started doing the online dating when we went through the pandemic because they needed someone to talk to. A lot of my friends said they got in there and they used it. They couldn't see their friends were sick or were going through things. So they just tried to connect with other people. And it's very cruel when people are fake and they're scamming and they're playing with your heartstrings. But online dating is just as dangerous as it could ever be, because when you get in someone's mind and their psyche and you get through their heart, you find a way to crush them, because eventually you are going to have to meet. And you've made these individuals so vulnerable from the age of 18 to 100 and plus. You've made them so vulnerable, men and women. Where do we draw the line on that? How do people that are on there, when I say we, I'm talking about just everybody, that is just lonely or maybe looking for love, or your spouse has died, you've got a divorce, you're separated. I'm just saying we. And how do you protect your heart, that when you go out there to find that love, how do you know if it's even real? And it's just one of those things that came to me. And I said, how do we protect our heart from all these dating apps? And that's something I want to dive into and I want to talk into. And I know it's a little tricky. So, if anyone has been on this dating app, send us a message. Let us know, because I'd like to know. You can just text to 772-222-7399. You can text us and we can see it. We won't say your name or we won't say your number if you're listening. 772-222-7399. We don't want to put anyone on the spot, but there's so many people that just go through so many things. And if we can have a show, as simple as it may be, about dating apps, there, and how to protect people, that would be so good. So looking this up, I'm going to find all kind of things. So 2 months ago, we had a gentleman who went on a dating app, and he assaulted an individual because he made them vulnerable. And I think if she had someone that she was talking to, I met this person, I'm going here. Why don't you go with me? There's always safety in numbers. I think if she had been more conscious, you can't just throw your hair, you just can't throw your hair. You can't just throw everything to the wind. You have to protect yourself. And that is something we want. I found out you can't go wrong by including someone else. No one is ever a third wheel. They are a third protection. That's how I look at it. So, ladies, gentlemen, if you're using these apps and you're finally getting to the point where you think you're going to go ahead and meet somebody, bring along someone. There's nothing, bring someone. If you don't want them at the date, we're going to be at this restaurant. I'll pay for your meal. Always pay for their meal. I'm big on that. but can you just watch us? I just want to be comfortable. You know, they'll come, you'll have them tomorrow. There are just so many things that are out there, and we want to protect them. So this young person now, went ahead and they showed that a lot of people that are using the apps, they have been over 2,000 sexual assaults from people. This study was done at the Brigham Young University in Utah, and they said over 2,000 sexual assaults actually happened from dating apps because people weren't careful. They didn't think that their guard went down, and that they became trusting. And because they became trusting, this is what happened. And I think for them to try and go back and look for love, I think that would be the hardest thing for them. And we're going to come back with that. We're going to go ahead and ask Cliff. Hey, Cliff, what do you think about dating apps?
Oh, stay away from them.
You think you can stay away from? Oh, I can't hear you, Cliff.
Oh, sorry about that. You did
Yeah, that's all right.
the facades that are out there and the deception.
Yes.
A lot of deception.
Mm-hmm.
And my nephew once told me, "Hey, I got a girlfriend on the internet. You know, we chat all the time." And I asked him, I said, "Are you sure it's a girl and not some crazy old guy that's just pulling your chain?" And
Well, you know what? That's back in the day, we always used to have to tell our young ladies, my dad talking to me, be careful where you go, be careful what you do. You can't say that just for girls anymore. We can't say that for girls anymore. We have to say that for both our girls and both our boys.
yeah,
We have to say, we have to say that for them. We have to tell our boys, we have to tell our girls, we need you to be careful. It's not an easy thing. But Cliff, what we're going to do is we're going to go to a commercial break because our sponsors that are with us are some of the most important businesses that we have, and we want to include them, and we love that they support us. And we definitely want to thank Treasure Coast Lexus and the Woods family for 3 years really just being the best sponsor they can ever be as we go through Careology. So we will be back after these few messages. Thanks, Cliff.
alrighty.
Elite Electric Plumbing and Air. They are always here for you. 24/7 live answer, never talk to a machine. Same day service, fast turnaround.
Hi, this is Roxy. I use Elite Electric Plumbing and Air, and I will go nowhere else.
Call 772-291-1332. Fast, efficient, and honest service. Call Elite Electric Plumbing and Air at 772-291-1332.
Why call Two Men in a Truck of the Treasure Coast? You want to move your business without moving a single meeting? You want it handled with no fuss. Lots of stuff, no time to move it? You need the pros that care. That's why you call Two Men in a Truck of the Treasure Coast. Family owned and operated franchise. Call 772-236-0827. 772-236-0827. Movers who care. Visit 2 Men in a Truck, treasurecoast.com. Create custom business signage that customers can't miss or resist. Let Design a Sign in Port St. Lucie help you get the job done right. Over 80 years combined experience. Get it right the first time. Call 772-4027 and tell them Roxy said to call. Remember, call 772-337-4020. Design a Sign in Port St. Lucie.
This is WPSL Port St. Lucie.
And now we return to Careology, the science of caring, with Roxy Brown.
All right, thank you, and welcome back again to Careology. My name is Roxy, and thank you, Cliff, and to our sponsors and everyone watching on our social media platform. We're talking about looking for love in all the wrong places. And what we want to do is talk about how to protect yourself from those potential dangerous people on dating apps. Everything that was always made and created, there's always a positive. Cars, we love them. We can't get around without cars, but people have turned them into weapons. Guns were used for shooting food and protecting your land. Now they're used for killing people. I'm not even going to talk about every day we've had a shooting, but I've talked about it. Only thing I'm going to say again and again, our hearts go out to those families and our condolences to those families, because every day we seem to be having a shooting. We had one here in Port St. Lucie. Um, but I do digress. But so many things were made for good. We found people have found a way to make it for bad. So there's a story of a man accused of kidnapping and torturing a woman in Oregon. Then he used her phone and her dating apps on her to contact other unsuspecting individuals. It's a rising and a very fresh concern about how to stay safe on a dating line or these dating apps. And his name was Benjamin Foster, 36 years old, and he was using the app to find potential new victims and that to help evade arrest. And that just brought something up to me about how much information do you share? I think that's where the big concern is. I think if you're going to use these apps and going to meet someone, the same way if you meet someone outside in a store, you don't hand them your bank card and say, my number is 1234. You don't do that. So why do people feel so comfortable online and on these dating apps to give out so much personal information? Um, One of the rules they say is limit the amount of personal information that you give. Don't reveal specifics like your neighborhood where you live, the name of the company where you work, or don't put it in your profile. What they said, keep things general. Don't talk about the city that you live in or the field that you work in. It's just like if you meet a stranger. Oh, I live there. Nobody's home until this time. My neighbors don't ever look out their window. You're not going to divulge that much information with anyone. And that's something that we want to go ahead and let people know, just to be careful. Nothing's wrong with being careful. And I think it comes down to common sense. We're losing a lot of common sense when we do certain things. And just protecting yourselves, it's just so important. I don't know how much to say that. With over 1,500 dating apps and with over 25.1 million people using them, the industry, I think, doesn't really care. It's a $1 billion industry. Only thing they care about is making sure that you have a profile and you're spending your money. Yes, they say they care when it happens, but what safeguards are they putting in? What safeguards? You can't go to a school and just pick up a child and say, yes, I'm here to pick up Roxy, and she just goes with you. That's not going to happen. But you allow young people, you don't know, you can't vet them. If they say they're 18, you don't know if they're 18. There's so many things going on. So, how do we protect the people that are using this and using them they're using these apps for a really innocent reason. What they're trying to do, they're trying to find love. But what happened is they're looking for love in all the wrong places. And that's something that we want to go ahead and talk about. How do we go ahead and educate our young people, educate individuals? We had a lot of, during the pandemic, we've lost a lot of people. And I hear a lot of my friends say, you know what? Men and women, I can't find a good man. I can't find a good woman. But I said, if you keep looking and you keep searching, while you're looking and you're searching, somebody might be looking at you and say, oh, you're really, really busy. You're dating this person, you're dating that person, you're not ready to settle down. And sometimes sitting down and taking a deep breath is sometimes the only thing we really need to do. That's just so important. And I don't think people realize that. Sometimes you can be going ahead and looking for that perfect person, and that perfect person is looking at you, just bouncing all over, up and down like a yo-yo. And they're not gonna, the right person you're looking for might not approach you, or you might be dating someone that you met on these dating apps, and they're like, okay, she's looking for someone, because you're just trying to figure it out. So, you know, what can we do? And that's something that we want to touch on. So, one of the things we mentioned is limit your personal information. I think that's very key. You when you go on these apps, from my research I did, don't ever show your address, don't ever show your car information. If you're talking, go somewhere where you have just a bookcase behind you that people can't really see that personal information. Don't put out any photos of your friends and different things. You would keep them, very comfortable. And do some basic homework on your match. It doesn't take long to do a background check on someone nowadays. Do your background check. If you have a lawyer at your disposal, if just like they said, just because someone has on an army suit or they have on a scrub top that they're a doctor, do your research. Most individuals in the professional field are not going to take a picture in their what their profession does. So you have to be smart about it. I think it's called common sense. You have to use your discretion. You have to, if you feel a red flag in your bones, I go to someone and I say, woman's intuition is strong. And they always laugh, oh, there's nothing like woman's intuition. Let me tell you, men and women have it. If your intuition is pitching off red flags and letting you say, you know what, I'm not comfortable about this, then that means something is wrong. Close the door, delete it. You have all your information on social media, on Instagram, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on so many platforms. They're going to look you up too. And when they look you up, they already have your information because you've put it out there. So if you're going to go on these social media apps, limit the information that you have. Keep your conversations on the app for a bit. You want to, through my investigation, they said people, when they think they found the right person, they delete everything. Keep your conversations on there. You want to make sure that you're covered. You don't know if that what country they're from, but keep the conversations on there. So if God forbid, if something happens, your loved ones can go and they say, okay, this is what they were talking about. This is what was here. Always have proof of something. And like I said, trust your gut. If your gut is telling you, oh, that doesn't sound right, then it's not right. You know, just because someone could scave over something and they can make it sound like it's interested, sound like it's good, 9 times out of 10, it's not going to be that way. So, what I say is trust your gut with what you're doing. That's very, very important. And if you think something is wrong, they say report it, because you don't know, you might have saved your life, but you don't know whose else life you're going to save. If you suspect someone, is that have been matched with, or however the ads work, and you think them to be dangerous, talk about it. Get in touch with that platform and let them know. Just because you had insight into it, you don't know if somebody else is going to have insight. And often someone who is endangering or is dangerous or harmful, they're always targeting not just you, they're targeting other individuals. Report their profile, prevent that from happening to someone else. So, that's what you want to do. Talk on the phone or video chat before a date. Screenshot that picture. Like I said, get some friends, because just because somebody tells you they're 6 foot tall, dark, and handsome, you might get someone 4 foot, stubby, round. Nothing's wrong with round. But what I'm saying is, what they say they are is not who they say they are. So talk on the phone, get a video chat, because that's where your red flags are gonna be the heightened. at the highest point, because you're able to see, you're able to look someone in the eye, and you're able to get a good understanding of what they're doing. That's very, very important. And then when you meet up, always meet in a public place. Don't go to any romantic, secluded place. Go to some place. Don't have them come to your apartment or house. You don't go to their apartment or house. You meet someplace public. You meet someplace where there's lights. You meet, don't, they don't pick you up. You've been getting to where you need to go before them. You still get there, and you have a time. You let other people know where you are. You keep your loved ones in the loop about what you're doing. So therefore, we all know where you are. That's very important. You know, dating apps can be more to keep their users safe too. I really believe that. I don't, like I said, it's a $1 billion industry. So the question we have to ask, what are these apps doing to keep their clients safe? Because you're paying money. That's like you get on a plane, you put your baggage on. You don't expect the airline to lose your baggage. You've paid for a service. So when you get this service from these dating apps, whoever they may be, what are they doing to improve the way that when you communicate with someone, they are making it a little bit safer for you? You know, 14% of reported rapes are committed by people that have met on dating apps. You know, Utah, you know, in 2017 and 2020 in Utah, they said the first meetup arranged through dating apps, that was the highest that they've ever had with rapes. And that is sad. I think that tears down the soul of someone that is trying to look for love and trying to look for something and they're missing it. And how can we do better? You know, how can these companies do better? I think they have a lot more to say when people are going ahead and they're getting hurt. You're letting people come to your app. You're feeling them, you know, just comfortable, but yet you're making them vulnerable. You have predators. You have people that are out there to steal people's identity, to go scams, to run, you know, they do history on individuals. This is their job. Their only job is to look for vulnerable people looking for love and taking advantage of that. And we want to I just felt that it was important that we talk about this. We've been through so much as a country, and so many people have lost people. They're afraid. You know, they're not going out the way they used to, and they think they say they're busy, but we're not too busy for this. We're not too busy to really take some time. Just because somebody say they love you, that doesn't mean you just run and you tell them your whole story. You know, that's not how it works. We need to have a lot more common sense. Men and men and women on the boat. Um, but I just want to go, Cliff. We're going to go ahead and we're going to take our last break. And I just want people to think about this. You know, if you have friends that are out there and they're using dating apps, you know, talk to them and find out, you know, what are they doing? What can we do? How can we protect ourselves against those romance scams? Um, like I said, I had a friend just recently that went through that, and I saw the devastation that it brought to her because for months they were talking, and in my soul, I already knew it. I went to my husband. I said, "That's not real," but even the more I talked to her, and I guess she was repeating what I was saying, the more he kept keeping her that it was real. So we're going to be right back after. This is our last messages that we have coming up from our sponsors, and we will be right back after these messages. Thank Cliff. If you could reimagine the way you buy a car, what would you do? Make it simple, make negotiations disappear, demand transparency, then experience amazing at your Treasure Coast Lexus dealer. Car Buying Simplified. Treasure Coast Lexus is a proud sponsor of Careology. Every Tuesday at 6:05 p.m., caring and supporting for our community. Car Buying Simplified. Check out your Treasure Coast Lexus dealer.
Elite Electric Plumbing and Air. They are always here for you. 24/7 live answer, never talk to a machine. Same day service, fast turnaround.
Hi, this is Roxy. I use Elite Electric Plumbing and Air, and I will go nowhere else.
Call 772-291-1332. Fast, efficient, and honest service. Call Elite Electric Plumbing and Air at 772-291-1332.
This is WPSL Port St. Lucie, the talk of the Treasure Coast.
We now return to Careology, the science of caring and the art of looking for love in all the right places for a change. Now here's your host once again, Roxy Brown.
Oh, thank you, Cliff. I love that. Looking for love in all the right places. Excuse me, but before I continue, I just want to go ahead and put a little reminder out there. This Saturday, you can go to givecarebag.com. And this Saturday, we are having our fundraiser for anyone who hasn't had their tickets or they've been thinking, oh, the food is good. My eyes are closed for those that can see me. The food is going to be fantastic. The ambiance, the people, it's just going to be beautiful. And it's not a fundraiser, it's a fundraiser. We just want to go ahead and educate those, any questions anyone may have. And we have a nice fashion show by some beautiful, beautiful children, just to really learn about what CareBag is all about. So I implore you, if you happen to be free and you needed something to do, it's from 11 to 3, but most likely we'll be finished a little before then, and 11:30 to 3, and we want 11 to 3, my mistake. And we want you to come out, have fun, have some good food, have some good fellowship, meet some beautiful men and women, and just really have a great time. So right now we're talking about looking for love in all the wrong places. I'm going to switch it up a little bit. Men and women in the United States fell on scams, on online romance scams. That's what they call them. And it is reported that the US topped 230 million annually through the FBI estimated. That's 15% of such crimes are reported, and actual losses are much, much higher because a lot of people are very embarrassed. Most of that money will never, ever be recovered. Before you ever just give someone something, you're never going, no one could ever walk up to, and this is what gets me. No one could walk up to us right now and say, cut me a check for $10,000 because I love you. We're not going to do it. You're going to look at the person like they're a total flippin' idiot. But the person massages you, rubs your back, rubs your feet, tickles your toes, and you're writing them a check. Make sure you actually know the person before you accept. And that's where the dating app is tricky, because you accept it because you're trying to find someone. So you have no idea who you're talking to. If the person claims that they have mutual friends, verify that, show me who you have. But if you're on the dating site now, keep the conversation on the dating app very low. Do not leave your chat open or your messenger app open. Scammers pinch people's information that they can go. So my CareBag's email was just hacked. And we had over, I think, close to almost 10,000 emails that just randomly was scammed and just sent down to people all over the world. I have a 16-digit character for my password. How in God's creation and it was random letters, symbols, uppercase, lowercase, symbols, characters, numbers, how someone figured that out, only God knows. And it was so upsetting to me. But if they can do that, they're saying when you leave all these things open, when you think they're gone, they're still there. So while you're on your computer, while you're on your phone chit-chat, you don't know what they're doing or someone else is doing in the background. And like I said, check photos. They give you photos. Use the free Google image search. I love it because I use it. I click on my pictures for CareBag just to see how far it's going. when we click on it, what it says about the picture. That way you can see someone, if it's a different name they're using, a different place that they live. You got to be proactive. You can't sit down and feel all gooey and nice because someone's whispering and telling you what you want to hear. You have to do your research. Investigate what they tell you about themselves. I know that's very hard to do because we have that idiot sitting in our political realm that says he did this, this, and that, and he was a liar. But that's politics, so we're not going to talk about that. But you got to do your homework. You got to investigate what they tell you about themselves. If they say that they host a radio show called Careology, go on the radio show. Listen and look to see if the person that's telling you is actually, you have to do your homework. You don't take people at your word just because they say it. Come on, people, we got to be more proactive and see if the text of your messages appears elsewhere. Okay, so romance scammers literally read text. They go ahead and they get common text messages online and they look for different languages. If someone sent you something and it is a beautiful poem and they say, I wrote this because you inspired me, put it in Google it and go and see where it's from because it's going to come up. The internet, as bad as it may be for so many things, it has so many great features that we can use to go ahead and protect ourselves. So this show was really about trying to protect ourselves. Invite your new friend to video chat with you. If you've met someone, say, I want to see you. You have so many platforms: Skype, Facebook, Messenger, FaceTime. Scammers don't ever want to talk live. They say they don't want to show their face. And how can they when they don't actually exist? So if someone's not willing to go ahead and say, yes, let's video chat, and they've been telling you they're from Australia, they've been born, they've been living there, and when they come, they have a straight Brooklyn accent, red flag. If they don't want to go ahead and video chat, if someone's in love with you, you want to be, you want to look into that person's face, you want to look into their eyes. So that's one of the things you can also have. And verify where a photo was really taken. um, that's very important. They tell you that they're from California, but the picture looks like they're in Ohio or Missouri. Use your common sense. It's worth questioning. An image says a lot about someone, including when and where the picture was shot. People, do your research and beware of soldiers asking for money. So, like I said, I found this funny while I did my research because the young lady, he was in the military, he was this, he was that, to find out he was nothing. They're asking for money, medical care, administration fees, but they're in the military. No, 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 no. Military takes care of everything if you are in active duty. So, like we said again, use your common sense. And your emails, if you're emailing back and forth, learn how to go on your computer and look at your IP address and see. The only thing you have to do is click, copy, paste, put it in your Google, and you can see where that email came from, where it generated from. If they say they live in New York and it's coming that it's from Texas, red flag. You know, if they're telling you something, it's supposed to be the truth. And if you've been scammed, don't be afraid to report it. You know, do not be afraid to report it. Like I said in the beginning, there are millions, over 250 million annually that has been scammed from individuals that they're never going to get back. You can go and I don't want to scare anyone off these dating apps. You can go on there and you might just find someone that might be the perfect individual. But you know what? You got to be careful. You got to do your due diligence. There is love out there for everyone. Nobody was ever meant to be alone. When God made us, he formed Adam. He gave Adam Eve because he said everyone needed a helpmate, everyone needed a companion, everyone needed a spouse, a boyfriend, a girlfriend. The crane birds, the penguins, when their spouse died, they're left alone because that means they were supposed to be together forever. So you're always supposed to be together. And as I close, I just want to say there's always someone out there for you. Don't be so desperate that you're going to take up the first rug rat that whispers sweet anything in your ear. If God has somebody for you, you are going to find that person. And that's where Cliff, do you believe me on that one?
Of course, I support
I
you
think,
100% on
yeah.
that.
I believe there's always something out there. My single friends, I look at them, oh, Roxy, you've been married for 25 years. I wasn't always married. I've been married for 25 years. I wasn't always married. Love takes time. You make mistakes, you get divorced, you break up, and you go again. You go again. You lose your job, you don't sit home, you find another job. Your car gets a flat tire, you fix it and you keep on rolling. Why, when it comes to romance, we're so quick to throw in the towel or look for something easy? So that's what I want to give you, ladies and gentlemen out there. There is always someone out there for you. And keep your head up, be diligent. If you're going on these apps, be careful. There's so much that is happening. You are loved. Somebody out there loves you. And we want you to be safe. We don't want anyone to harm you because you were looking for love in the wrong places. So, that's what I wanted to leave with you. And if what I had to say had anything to do that really touched you, I hope you just open up, look, learn, and listen. That's what Careology is about. And that's what I want to leave you with.
A more
I don't want
quality,
Cliff to cut you.
a more quality
What,
of
Cliff?
caring. Yeah, a more quality of caring is needed out there. That's what we
Yes, it
do.
is.
Uh-huh.
Yes. So that's very, very important. I know I have someone texting me, Roxy, what's up with the hat? You missed it earlier. I'm wearing a beautiful fascinator for our high tea coming up this Saturday. Go to givecarebag.com and you can get all the relevant information. I love you guys. It has been a great show. And see you next week, Tuesday. Bye bye. High tea. See you Saturday. Bye, Cliff.
Okay, we shall. Yes, we
Hey.
shall. And you've been listening
Yes.
to
Bye,
Careology,
everybody.
the science of caring, presented by CareBag. You can follow us, of course, on YouTube, WPSL TV, and binge watch us some
Yeah, I'm switching the next slide.
It's the right thing to do. And be sure to look for love in all of the right places.
Right places.
Right?
You got it. Have a good
I
night,
knew you would.
everybody. Bye.